Good morning. Welcome back to another Scuttlebutt with Ivy's Family Factotum. Oh, excuse me. I just had my breakfast. Already had some coffee this morning. Actually, woke up a little earlier today. Well, not as early as yesterday, but the kiddo was being a little loud this morning. But it's Friday. Funky Friday. I don't know. Well, I say Funky Friday because the radio station that I listen to here, they do. It's called Funky Friday, and they play all that old town funk, right? All that stuff, right? It's not my. I mean, because I like listening to a lot of like classic rock type stuff. So, and majority, throughout the week, that's what they're playing. I mean, some days they'll play some like old stuff, like back in the like 50s old. I'm like, not my thing. And then Fridays they do the funk, and yeah, not too big on that either. So, yep. And then, obviously, other stuff. But I'm actually walking down here, the driveway. There's stuff that we need to do. Obviously, there's more rain coming. The chances of it, the percentages went down, thankfully. So, I think yesterday, when I was looking at everything, it said 70% chance. And then that dropped down to 30, so that's good. But we only had for Sunday, right, Easter Sunday, we had a 20% chance, and now that's up to 50. So gates are hanging, folks. Gates are hanging. That video is out. Obviously, I had to upload it this morning. Because my laptop, actually, I want to build a new computer, and I'm going to be slowly purchasing stuff to be able to do that. And then, because one of the fans or something in my laptop, you can tell like the bearings are going out in it. So it's not the hard drive, because I have an SSD, which is your solid state, right? No moving parts in the solid state. I had removed the hard drive. The hard drive has a disc in there that spins, right? And that was going bad, so I replaced it with an SSD. Well, I think one of the internal fans, because it has more than one fan inside, because it's a gaming laptop, I think the bearings are going out in it, and it just makes the god-awful racket. So I no longer upload video at night when we're laying down, right? I used to do that. Could, but I don't do that anymore because it's very loud. So whenever it gets to the point that obviously I have a studio to be able to have all my computer stuff in, then I won't care, because it won't be in our bedroom, right? And then at some point I'll get another computer. But I'm actually coming down here to driveway. So I did not talk to the neighbor personally. I mean, I called him a couple times. Never answers his phone. But it's never really him, that, because he owns like a logging company thing, right? Does a lot of that stuff. But all the cattle stuff is actually his son that takes care of that. And I don't have his number. I need to get his number so I can just contact him directly instead of trying to go through the dad. Because, I mean, he goes by Dauber, right? And he's the one that owns all the property, but his son is the one that takes care of it, right? He's like the property manager, per se. Him and his wife. So, but I guess he was down here and talked to Xander, my nephew, about this panel And I guess the reason why the panel is here was because they have cattle, obviously, and this paddock here, right? Because they have like 6 or 8, I don't know how many paddocks they have. This one, like, I think each of them are like around 20 something acres, and this one has baby cattle, right? It has some calves in there, and they don't want the calves getting into, because these culverts are 3 feet round, so a small, you know, calf can actually fit in there. They'll walk in there and possibly get out. So they block it, and they don't want people going in there, or they don't want the cattle going in there. Well, the problem with that is it blocks a lot of this debris and stuff like that from going through, right? And then you can see here, this is all getting washed out, right? There's big holes, and I don't want to like step right here on the edge, but there's big holes because of the water. So I don't know how much of a void there is right in here in between these 2 pipes. Well, the problem with that is if this gets washed out, we're stuck on the property. We can't get out, and I don't have means of correcting this, right? I don't have a tractor. I mean, this is already bad enough that this all needs to be corrected. Well, I've, you know, called and I said, hey, I have an old gate that you can use and put in front of these. That way, that will allow more material to go through there, not blocking it, but it also will be enough to stop the cattle. Well, it's still sitting here, and I still haven't been. I need to call them again. Be like, hey, can we got more rain coming, right? And I'm trying not to block the water, because you see, whenever we have heavy rains, all this debris is coming up over, and I mean, I had water all the way up to here, and it's just washing out all this stuff. So, not trying to have that happen. I'm still waiting on the easement agreement for this road, right? Going in. That's actually up at the bigwigs office, the local office. They couldn't find anything, so they passed it off to the next guys, right? Because that's all national forest right here, as soon as this goes around. And then my property starts or ends right in here, right? And then goes that way. So this is my property all the way to his fence line, right? But I don't have an easement agreement. And if I don't have an easement agreement, well, guess what? It's not an easement. Even though people use it, the public use it to go in there. Well, if I don't see an easement agreement from the National Forest folks, then I'm going to close this off to the public. That's what we've talked about with them. And if they can't provide me that information, you know, then, because the main way to get into that area is actually south of us, a road that they maintain, right? None of this here is maintained. Obviously, they don't maintain this, and if they want people to continue to use it, they're going to maintain it. It's their, by law, right? They are supposed to be maintaining that if they're going to keep it open to the public. So, but I do want to get out here too. So, because we have all the rocks here, because I talked about in the video, we're not going to be putting rocks up here. This actually is going to change. So, because of this road, right, I want to put another gate out to the front. I'll probably end up putting these gates out there. I'll just leave it like this, but I'm actually I'll get more posts that I can put directly into the ground, right? And then these wood posts here will attach to those posts, and then we'll have the gate out there. So kind of doing like the same thing we did here, but is out there. And then these metal posts here will just cover. We actually have it's like a fake post, like what you put on a porch, but it's hollow on the inside, right? That I can just slip over these metal pieces. Basically what you're supposed to do with a porch. That way we can still have two posts here to be able to have the lights, and but it won't have a gate, right? And then the gate will actually be up at the front. So, but today, before all this rain comes, I'm gonna get out here. We're gonna start moving these rocks, taking the rocks up there and just throwing them down into that area, to where hopefully that will stop eroding. And then I need to try to call that guy again to say, hey, can we switch out that panel, that cattle panel, for the gate, and hopefully that will work out better. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, definitely appreciate y'all for following in on today's journey, helping us grow, sharing us out. Hit that thumbs up, right? Hit the subscribe if you made it this far and you're not subscribed. It's greatly appreciated. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend. Hopefully you're able to stay dry or go out and do something for Easter weekend. And I mean, we don't ever talk about politics or religion here on either one of our channels. And yeah, I just prefer to kind of keep that stuff clear from our channel. Because we're not atheists, but we're not Christian or Baptist either. So and yeah, beliefs are beliefs. What people believe in. All right, y'all. Get out there, thank a veteran with every chance you get. Not only on Veterans Day. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Later, y'all.